Hey guys, Dark Skeleton here, and I just played one of the stupidest constructed matches in GVG of all time. The lead up to this match is that I was playing a bit of ranked as my regular priest deck, and I kinda got pub stomped by the muster for battle quartermaster thing that paladins love to do, and almost every paladin does do it because it is really good. So I decided to create a new priest deck that is pure responsiveness and pure AoE for creatures like 1/1 tokens. It's not too unlike the regular control priest, but I was even frustrated enough to put cards like Master Spell in there. So I take this deck into practice, and the first deck I go up against is a Shaman named Bado. Now what you probably realized looking at all the GVG cards was that Crackle added another excellent removal card to the Shaman arsenal. So somewhere in this guy's thinking, he came up in his mind, what if I played a deck which was almost purely spells for damage and removal? To be honest, that's actually kind of what I was thinking. It's like, hey, let's screw board presence, screw having minions, it all just gets removed anyway, and let's just keep clearing his board instead. As a result, we're both playing a very boring early game. This guy plays a totem. I'm like, okay, I guess that's a fair response to me not doing anything. So what's he do on turn 3? He plays a totem! And then I'm like, whoa, if this shaman is just going to stall and not actually play anything, then maybe I should be the first one to play something. But if I play a Northshire cleric, it's just gonna get removed. Actually, anything I play is just going to get removed. So, here, have an Earthen Ring Farseer. Now what's his amazing response to this? It's not even a lightning bolt, it's another bloody totem! Now you tell me, what kind of serious shaman player does nothing but hit the totem button for 4 turns? I guess one who really wants to play reactively, just like me. This is like Paladin versus Control Warrior, except even worse, because at least the Paladin will be making dudes for free. Most of the totems don't do anything on their own. Now at this point, I'm pretty confident that he's playing some kinda silly Shaman control deck, and not actually playing that many dudes where cards like Bloodlust or cards like Flame Tongue Totem are the main focus of the deck. I unfortunately haven't drawn into a bloody circle of healing anyway, so I figure, hey, I might as well play the Arcanine Soul Priest. The correct play? Questionable, but at least it spends my mana. And then he makes another bloody totem. At least this time he gets a spell damage totem, and you probably know what's coming. He's gonna remove my stuff with some lightning spells. Forked Lightning. Not many shamans actually run that. I guess that's why he doesn't have any minions in this deck. He has every bloody lightning spell. Now, does this play of his actually really change the state of the game? No, not really. It removes a couple of the dudes I played for a couple of his cards instead, so now we're basically back to the previous turn. When getting stalled, you might as well go for card draw though, right? Well here, play a Thought Steal, and then get a Manatide Totem for more card draw, hooray! Now I actually do just play Northshire Cleric here, and the reason behind that is because if he wants to kill it, he at least has to play something from his hand. Ideally something like a Lightning Bolt, but in the worst case, a Flame Tongue Totem. So what's he do? He makes a bloody totem, and then passes. So I look through my hand again, and I look at his board, and then I look back to my hand, and I realize I have a bunch of cards which do stuff in theory, but he's not playing anything. I have nothing to respond to. I can play cards kind of pointlessly. I could steal a totem with a Cabal Shadow Priest, which would be pretty abysmal. I can play my Arcanine just because. I mean, I'm not getting the Circle of Healings anyway. If he had actually been playing Mech or something, I could have been in trouble without that circle. But no. He's just playing totems. That's his deck. He's playing the Totem deck. So in response to my amazing play of just playing an Arcanine Soul Priest onto the field, what does he do? He makes a totem, and then he plays a Hex on it, which technically is good for me, but in terms of this actually being a real game, I mean, come on. Is anything ever going to happen? This is turn 7, and no one's doing anything. So against his grand strategy of do nothing, I just decide, hey, you know, why not just go for some card draw here? I guess I'll heal my Northshire Cleric, nothing better to heal. And then, although it's probably a terrible move, I use Rockbiter on the frog so that it can kill a totem for some reason. It's hilarious. It's also awful. But that might have been the most bloody exciting play this entire game. At least it was interesting, even if it's bad. Then, staying true to his name, Bado the Shaman plays another freaking totem. Then, after that, he plays not 1, but 2 spells from his hands, which actually summon creatures. Are these like... I think this is literally the first creature he's played all game. Feral Spirits. 4 of them! Now looking back at this position, I was actually in a lot more trouble than I had realized at the time. Since he is actually running Bloodlust in his deck, that would have been basically instant lethal. And this is the first turn I think I really had to think about it for a while. What's going through my head? I have a Wild Pyromancer, I have a Shadow Madness. With that I can kill at least 2 of the wolves. If I play one more spell, I can clear just about everything on his field when you use the Northshire Cleric to take out one of the wolves. So that's the play I end up making here, and then hooray, we're basically back to the same field we had this entire game. Then for whatever reason, my screen glitches. You see the cards at the top of the screen? They're way more down than they should have been, and mine are way more hidden than they should have been. I exited out for a minute to try to fix that visual setting, and in the meantime, he made the amazing follow-up play of Totem. So I just steal his wolf, buff it up with a Power Word Shield. It's like, hey, probably this stuff's gonna get removed given the deck he's playing, but let's see what he has. So his grand strategy is to play another Totem, and then to use one of his lightning spells to try to kill off my Cabal Shadow Priest. Unfortunately, the problem with Crackle is that it is an RNG generator, so he fails to kill my guy off by 1 damage. Then at this point, he starts revealing his cheeky hand with the minions he's been hiding all bloody game. Probably because I'm a priest and he didn't want to get Circle of Healing, but because I'm Mystic. Stealing all those secrets I don't have, hooray. What a useful card. So I finally have both Circle of Healings here, but I have no more Arcanized because I used them for pointless stuff. So I'll just clear his board and use the Circle of Healing for its original intended purpose. Healing. So how does he respond to my board, which finally has some damage on it? This cheeky bastard plays an Earth Elemental, and not just that, he also plays Ancestral Spirit on his Earth Elemental, which I'm thinking, ooh, awesome mind control target. But he actually makes a pretty decent play here. He reincarnates it, gets 2 Earth Elementals out on the field, and now I'm like, okay, I just drew onto a second one, so I'll steal one of your Earth Elementals and they can kill each other or whatever. Now running 2 mind controls is extremely greedy for a priest deck, and as I said at the beginning, I was just trying to make a deck which could try to counter the quartermaster stuff that paladins are doing. So this is actually the first time I was testing this questionable deck out. So how's he respond to me having an Earth Elemental? Well, he drops his Flame Tongue Totem, finally, and then he wants to kill my wolf off. So what's he play from his hand? He plays a bloody Bloodlust. To deal 3 damage. To deal 3 damage with a Bloodlust. The reason for this, obviously, he doesn't want me to trade my wolf into his Earth Elemental after he trades off. He wants me to have to use my Cabal Shadow Priest. So it wasn't actually a terrible play, it's just so sad he had to use a Bloodlust like that. Now I drew into a Shadow Word Death, which may have been the more sensible play here, but I had a second Mind Control and I can Circle of Healing my field, so I'm like, screw it, I'll just Mind Control both his Earth Elementals. Then, as a response, he almost makes me regret it by playing By Fire Be Purged! Unfortunately for him, there's nothing sadder than a Ragnarok shot which fails to kill a minion. So my Cabal lives with 1 HP, and I'm like, peh, Ragnarok, whatever, Shadow Word Death. By now, I guess the whole charade is over. A removal versus removal deck, I guess the Priest usually wins with that, because Priest has more absurd tools like Mind Control. So screw the rest, you get the picture. I do kind of wonder where his second Hex was. I guess he just never drew into it. So sad! I've been Dark Skeleton, hope you enjoyed this match. Thank you guys for watching.